Welcome to North of the Broad. I'm Jonathan Haupt, the director of our Pat Conroy Literary Center, filling in for host Robin Zimmerman. This month, we're here to talk a little bit about the upcoming Lowcountry Book Club Convention, which the Conroy Center has been hosting for 9 years, and we're fortunate to have two of this year's presenting authors with us, Kim Poovey and Pete Masalin. Welcome, guys. Welcome to North of the Broad.
Good to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. So the Lowcountry Book Club Convention is a concept I came up with a few years ago when I realized there were so many book clubs here in the Lowcountry. Wouldn't it be great to bring them together and introduce them to authors from our area, but also from elsewhere? And you two are two of the four local authors that we're featuring on the opening day, which is September 27th, here in Beaufort at the Technical College of the Lowcountry. So we'll all be part of a panel discussion together that evening. Kim, you've been on the show a couple of times before, and I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about your new book, Shadows of the War.
Shadows of the War is the sequel to Shadows of the Moss. It is set during the Civil War era, but it's not about the Civil War, that's the backdrop. But you'll follow Maggie, Seth, and Alora, three main characters from the first book, and find out the struggles that they deal with the lies and deception that go along with the war.
That's fantastic. So many people really loved the first book, and you and I actually had a conversation about it here in this very room when it came out. And I know a lot of book clubs in particular have been drawn to it. So I'm glad you'll get the chance to share the new book with this audience as well.
Thank you.
Pete, hi, welcome.
Hey, well, thank you.
You've got a first novel, second book, but first novel, Military Brat, brand new out. We're delighted to have a copy on display here today. So this will be a chance to introduce you as a novelist to our Lowcountry Book Club folks. Can you tell us a little bit about what Military Brat is?
Yeah, I'm excited about the opportunity. Military Brat is a story of military brat. And for those that don't know what a military brat is, it's a child of a military professional, and often some of those children face challenges in moving about the country and even overseas, being uprooted and taken from friends and schoolmates. And so it's about a young man named Finn Makinen, who is a military brat, who's a bit mischievous and a little bit of a risk taker. And it offers an opportunity and insight into some of those challenges and how he overcomes them. It's got a lot of humor in it and some fun things in it. So pretty excited about it. And it probably will resonate with people in this community who have many, we've got military families here with military brats.
Absolutely. I think it's a book that Beaufort in particular is going to welcome, which is why I felt so strongly about including it in the convention this year. So I'm really excited for both of you to get to meet all of the book club members and book club representatives who come and participate each year. Because this is an event really geared toward readers, I'd love to hear a little bit more from each of you about your own reading lives. So, Kim, this is book number 8 for you, I think, as a writer. But what do you like to read? Do you read things very similar to what you write, historical fiction, or do you read beyond that as well?
I read a very broad genre. I love fast-paced, not much thinking, entertainment kind of books, like the Fortune series with Janet DeLeon. I love Karen White's Trad Street series, but I'm a huge fan of Darcy Coates and her horror books.
Oh, fantastic. What about you, Pete? What are you
I'm pretty eclectic as well. I like, my time in the Marine Corps exposed me to some military history, which I like. I like nonfiction stories about history in particular, but I also like fiction with thrillers and suspense movies or suspense books. I think of, and one thing that fascinates me is when I was younger, I read things from authors like Jules Verne or H.G. Wells that just to this day still surprise me when you've got somebody writing about submarines that, in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and that technology actually came into reality 100 years later after it was written. So it's fascinating. I couldn't write something like that where you can create something out of a concept or conceptually create the science that goes with that. So that's kind of earlier when I was younger, got into that, and now I like the thrillers. The last one and a plug for John Worley, his Jury of One. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Great book. Yeah.
John was a part of the equivalent program last year.
Yeah.
So
Great
opening
author.
day of Lowcountry Book Club Convention is Friday, September 27th. Kim and Pete will be joined in conversation with me with two other local authors. Michael DeWitt, who's been on the show before, who's the author of Fall of the House of Murdaugh, and Virginia Hall-Apicella, who is the author of the historical novel Even a Sparrow. You might even know Jenny for that matter.
I do know her very well. We used to be in the writing club together.
Oh,
Writing
very
group,
nice.
excuse me, yes.
And
Brilliant
then
writer.
The event continues Saturday, September 28th. We move over to Bluffton, where we'll be at the Culinary Institute of the South with three visiting authors, Kimberly Brock, Amanda Jones, and Rhonda McKnight, all joining us for the 9th Annual Lowcountry Book Club Convention. Kim and Pete, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, thanks for the invite, John. Really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We'll be right back on North of the Broad.